welcome to my sewing room. Today's theme is French waterfall, which is a lovely way to put two colors of fabric into one garment by using scalloped laces to join them. Oh, do I have some pretty dresses to show you today. This little dress, which combines white and baby blue Swiss batiste, has the French waterfall scalloped lace that comes all the way down the front. As you can see, it comes all the way down to the bottom, where you can see that pretty skirt all the way around the bottom. And also there are 3 double needle pin tucks that follow the waves of those scallops. This is one of my very favorite French waterfall dresses. Let me get it around here where you can see the whole thing. I'll just hold it up. This has a lovely pink panel in the middle, connected to white Swiss batiste, and the pretty scallops go all the way down the front of the dress. Pretty skirt, go all the way down the front over to the side. And can you see these little pink rosebuds? Those are made out of silk ribbon. They're pink silk ribbon and green silk ribbon, and they have a really pretty little beads that are sewn down too. That's the pink and white dress. White on white has to be one of my all-time favorites for heirloom dresses. Now I'm going to slip my hand up in this little dress so you can see that this is organdy. The scallops that go down the front are made out of lace, of course, and organdy is in the middle and lace is on the edge. And can you see the little machine bows that are in there? Those are stitched right out of a sewing machine. Those are not made by hand, thus making it very quick and easy. We mustn't forget our babies for French waterfall. A little baby day gown, very tailored and very appropriate for a boy or a girl. This one has ecru Swiss batiste, ecru lace, and it goes all the way down the beautiful strip of ecru French waterfall and then all the way around the skirt of this lovely little baby day gown. And our final little dress, well, it isn't final, of course, but our last one, has a wonderful medium blue Swiss batiste and a rich ecru Swiss batiste, and the blue strip goes all the way down the dress and all the way around the edge. French waterfall is really very quick and easy. Let's go to the technique boards and I'll just show you how quickly you can make French waterfall also. The first step in making a beautiful French waterfall dress or baby dress or whatever you want to make is in drawing a template. So I draw my French waterfall template, making the scallops or scallops, whichever way you pronounce it, and then I have the little lines right here which I can use for the easy fold back method of making a miter. Next, I go over and trace this design off on, in this case, a yellow piece of Swiss batiste. And then I shape my scallops or scallops, and I pull the string to make it lay down. Let me show you how to do that in case you don't know how to. All right, when I make scalloped or curved lace, I put pins on the big side of the lace. Now, it's time to do a miter right here. So how do you make a miter? Very easy. You put a pin on the inside and a pin on the outside. Then I fold the lace back on itself. Now I did not pull the lace over here. I folded the lace back on itself just like that. Remove the pin that goes through 2 layers. Then when I fold this lace down, it will make a perfect miter. Now I told you about pulling the string to make this lace. See, this is not laying down very well, is it? So watch what I do very carefully. I'm going to go in here and stick my pin underneath one of the gathering threads in the lace, in the heading of the lace, and then I'm going to pull it, and guess what? My lace lays down in a nice pretty curve. Next step is, after I zigzag the inside of these scallops on this side and on the other side, I fold it back and trim away the excess fabric, thus making me a little scalloped inset piece. Down to the next board. After I make you little pink, you see this little pink inset piece? That's what I just made. After I make that, I bring this piece over, put it onto the front of the blouse or the dress, whatever you're making, put it down, and guess what I do next? Where this navy blue sewing is, I just come in here and zigzag it down. My last piece of the teaching board shows it has been zigzagged on this side, it's been zigzagged on this side, and then guess what? The fabric, the white fabric from behind, has been cut away, therefore leaving me the 2 different color fabrics for my French waterfall. Now see how easy that is? Actually, I have a really pretty pillow for you next, and I'll show you a little bit more in detail how easy it is to make a beautiful French waterfall. I think this French waterfall pillow would be so pretty in your bedroom, or it would be a wonderful gift for a bride. Now, it isn't hard to make. Just hang in here with me and I will show you how to do it. This little French waterfall pillow has a wonderful green strip down the middle. It's almost a seafoam green. It has two little white scalloped rows of lace right in here, simply zigzag down, and a really sweet little Swiss embroidery ruffle that goes all the way around the edge. Very easy to make. Let me just show you how. Hang on. No, we'll do one more thing before I show you how. I have another little baby pillow which has the French waterfall technique in the middle. The white strip is in the middle with a little shadow work embroidery, the baby that goes across, a little bit of feather stitch, and some little bullion roses. This one is done in white and yellow. Now, to make this little pillow, it's a lot easier than it looks like, I promise. So let's see how we start step by step to make that little pillow. First of all, you can make it either making your scallops on the inside section or the outside section. It really doesn't matter. But let's make them this time on the outside section. I have a white piece of fabric and I have a robin's egg blue piece of fabric. So I trace the design off on both the inside of the blouse or the pillow. In this case, it's a pillow, and the outside of the pillow. Now then, remember we made the scalloped lace? Let's do that one more time. Let's make this little miter, which is so easy to do. All right, I scallop the lace all the way around, then I stick a pin on the outside and a pin on the inside. And then let me fold this lace back on itself. People, when I'm making curved lace, I fold it back exactly on itself. I do not fold it here. I do not fold it there. I literally bring that lace around and make a curve. Then I remove the pin that goes through two layers. In this case, it is the bottom pin that goes through two layers, and watch what happens when I bring the lace around. It makes a perfect scallop going in the right direction. And I think you probably remember about curving lace. Always put the pins on the big side and then curve it all the way around and pull a string. I just wanted to show you that one more time, and now let's go on to the next layer after I pull the pins out, no problem whatsoever. Now you scallop the lace or scallop the lace. By the way, are you supposed to say scallop or scallop? Guess what? I looked it up in the dictionary and both are absolutely correct. So you scallop it or you scallop it, it really doesn't matter. Now back to this pillow. After I have made my scalloped or scalloped lace, this time remember I'm putting my scallops on the outside. I'm going to go ahead and zigzag the outside down, or you can do a wing needle entredot stitch. And then I will cut the inside away, pick up both the pieces. Wait a minute, I have a next step here. I will have both of the pieces of white scallop pieces right like this, and I will put them down on the big square of robin's egg blue in this case. That's my second color I put them down on. Okay, now let me unfold this little trick here and be sure you understand that. You see, I made these white pieces here and here. I put one on one side, one on the other side, and then I zigzag the inside. Here we go, zigzag the inside, and once again on this side, I will come in here and zigzag the inside. Okay, since I've told you about zigzagging all of this, I think I'll just go right over here to the sewing machine and do just that. I'm going to zigzag the inside, and then I'll be ready to zigzag the outside to hold it down. Simply put it right here. Here we go. Slip it underneath here. Lower my presser foot right there, and just simply zigzag the laces down all the way around. That's absolutely all there is to it. It's just zigzag the laces down all the way around on both sides of that pillow. After I've sewn both of the white pieces down to the robin's egg blue piece in the center, then your pillow's almost done. But let me show you one more thing you need to do. All right, remember I have to go in behind here and trim away. Can you see that? I go in behind and trim away the other pieces that were underneath. In other words, I sewed the white pieces down to the robin's egg blue, then I lift it up and trim away the robin's egg blue portion before I finish up the pillow. one last step is all it takes to finish this pillow. I have a little ruffle here, and I've run 2 rows of gathering in the ruffle. And remember, when you run 2 rows of gathering, always pull your bobbin threads. That makes it a little bit easier. Then I will put my ruffle down like this, come around, put a little few extra gathers in the corners, bring my ruffle all the way around. There it is, almost in there, ready to go. Put the back on my pillow, stitch all the way around, turn it right side out, and guess what? I will have the beginnings, or I will have finished, this wonderful pillow with the French waterfall color in the middle and the white on either side with the white scalloped or scalloped lace. Isn't that pretty? And you know what? It looks so hard, but it really is pretty easy to make. Let's go back to the teaching board. You know, I enjoy taking people to the teaching boards because somehow I seem to believe that it makes it easier when you see the quote-unquote big picture. This lovely blouse, now here's the third method, by the way, of making French waterfall. This is what I call a sort of maybe kind of fake waterfall. You know why? Look, I really didn't put 2 colored panels in here. Can you see what I'm telling you? I just simply took the blue panel for the front of this lovely blouse. By the way, this is the beautiful Australian blouse, very unusual, that we have as the pattern for the series. And what I did, I simply traced my waterfall techniques and my waterfall lines and scallops on the front and did it. But let me just make this a little more clear. How did that blouse actually happen? Okay, here I've traced off the front panel of this lovely Australian blouse, and then I've traced the waterfall lines as well as the fold back lines. That would be step number 1 to making the beautiful blouse. Step number 2 would be to transfer those lines to my white fabric, or in the blouse, the case of the blouse, it was a blue fabric. So I've transferred all of my lines onto the fabric. The next step is to come in here, and you already know what this step is, I'm sure. The next step is to come in here and pin the scallops in, or the scallops in, do the miters, pin the scallops. Go ahead, you've got to pull your little string and make this lay flat. You know how to do that. So I have pinned the lace on the front of this blouse. Then, since this is a fake French waterfall, I don't really cut anything away because there's nothing behind there to cut away. So what is the next step? Zigzag, entre-deux stitch. In this case, it's a point de Paris or Madeira applique stitch. Zigzag, or whatever you stitch the inside, then zigzag the outside. And over here on this side, we've zigzagged the inside, zigzag the outside, and all of a sudden I have my blouse that begins to look like a French waterfall, although actually it's just sort of a fake French waterfall. The last step on embellishing the front of this blouse is what? You guessed it. I love double needle pin tucks. So I have 1, 2, 3 sets of double needle pin tucks. I put the edge of the presser foot along the edge of the lace, guide it down one time, and then guess what? Come back and make the second row of double needle pin tucks, then come back and make the third row of double needle pin tucks. As you can see, this blouse front, we now have the embellishment on it, the French waterfall embellishment. So what do I do now? I go back in, trace off the blouse front, and then I'm now ready to cut out the front of that blouse. Does that make it a little bit easier now to see how this particular blouse got its French waterfall treatment in the front? In other words, the panel of the blouse, go ahead and do all of the beautiful treatment to it and then cut it out and construct your blouse. I have a little doll waiting to meet you who absolutely loves her French waterfall dress, and that will be what we'll have next on the show. Now then, do you think this little doll looks sort of like me? She has red hair and green eyes. I think she might. I absolutely love this little French waterfall dress. Now you do know that our doll dress pattern for this series is copied exactly from an antique turn-of-the-century doll dress in my grandmother's trunk collection. This beautiful little French waterfall dress has a wonderful mint green French waterfall down the middle of the ecru dress. Look at her little sleeves. Aren't they really cute? You see the little French waterfall on her little sleeves too? I just love those. And of course, silk ribbon has to peek out the entre-deux on the edge. Coming down the dress to her skirt, French waterfall on the skirt with a little green piece at the bottom and your little ecru lace, and the little dress is ecru Nalona. Now then, let's see how in the world you make the French waterfall. Let's make the bodice of that dress and make it really, really easy. First of all, I trace off the actual strip in the middle, the French waterfall strip in the middle. Now one more time, let's shape this lace and shape that miter, okay? I put the pins on the large side of the lace. When I'm getting ready to come into the miter, I put a pin on the outside, a pin on the inside. And I bet you remember exactly how we fold it back. That's right. Fold it back on itself and remove the pin that goes through 2 layers. In this case, that's the inside pin. And then I'm going to fold it on around, and look at there. We're ready to go all the way around the next section with the perfect miter folded in. Okay, what does it look like after we finish that little strip? Well, I'm going to show you that in just a minute. Here is the strip. I've pinned the lace on there, and where do I zigzag first? I zigzag the inside because I'm going to make a little strip that goes actually on the doll dress. On this side, I will come in and zigzag the inside, and then I will trim it away. You see how I made the little green strip for the middle? Okay. After I trimmed it away, then I take the green strip. Now let me fold it over so you can see actually what it looks like. I take the green strip, lay it down on the bodice of the doll dress. That's what this little figure right here is, the bodice of the doll dress. I take the green strip, put it down on the bodice of the doll dress, zigzag the outside, and then the last strip of this shows, put my hand on here so you can see, I have zigzagged the whole strip to the bodice, this side, and guess what I do? Turn it over and trim it away, making the lace peekaboo. And now then, my French waterfall is finished on the bodice of the dress. You've been such good seamstresses today, and you have worked so hard. Our craft for you today is a perfectly elegant craft, but let me let you have a little secret. It's purely hot glue gun. Sometimes I think it's fun to make a little project, in this case a craft, that takes almost no time, and I especially like some where you can just use a little bottle of glue or a hot glue gun. This one's easy and fun. The little basket I show you is a decorator basket. Do you see the eggs in the bird nest, little bird in the bird's nest on the top, some little grapevine wreaths and some raspberry vines. And down here on the side we have some more raspberry vines, which if you can look at that and see, that is simply pushed in between these little grooves on the basket, and you could even give it a little touch of hot glue gun if you wanted to. Now, how did this one happen? This little case, or this little decorator basket that I'm going to decorate, is a tissue box. It has a hole in the center, so I'm going to work around that so I can continue to use it as a tissue box. All right, I'm going to put glue all the way around it, and the first thing I'm going to start with is some craft grass, and this is just so messy, so be sure you have a place that you don't mind getting the little fuzzies all over your house. All right, you'll glue the craft grass, you get enough and glue it all the way around there. Then you begin to work with, in this case I have some little wonderful little flowers, some little potpourri flowers, and you can put a few in one place and then come over and put a few more in the next place and come around here and put a few more. And then if you would like to get your little bluebird that had these sweet little nests, you can also get the little nest and embellish it any way you want to. But this is a really quick project that probably wouldn't take any more than about 15 minutes to embellish something that is personal and lovely. Now back to the French waterfall, we have a beautiful silk du peony French waterfall quilt square for you. Some of you have written and told us that one of your favorite parts of the show is when we go to our quilt square of the day. Well, do we have a beautiful quilt square for you. Today's quilt square features white silk du peony down the middle of the French waterfall, put on a beautiful, beautiful deep marine blue silk du peony. The laces that go scalloping down both sides of the silk du peony are ecru. You see we have a curved lace and then a miter. And one of the special treats on this quilt square is built in out of the sewing machine. This was not done by hand, this embroidery. We have the 3 lovely flower motifs. Takes almost no time with today's wonderful embroidery machines to put embroidery like this on any of your garments, your quilts, your crafts, your pillows, whatever you want to. Absolutely beautiful. Once again, French waterfall is not difficult to make. Let me just show you how you make this beautiful quilt square. First of all, go ahead and put your 3 motifs, or you can put however many motifs you want. In this case, we used 1, 2, 3 motifs. Then trace on the French waterfall technique on the side. Okay, once again, let's play with the French waterfall technique just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to put pins in the side here, pins right in the middle. Remember, we're to a miter point, so what am I going to do? Pin at the bottom, pin at the top, fold it back on itself. Yep, we've done that several times today. And then put a pin through both layers, and guess what? It travels, and we're ready to go all the way around. Now then, I have to do something to make this lace lie down flat, don't I? Okay, here we go. I'm going to go in here and find 1 thread in the gathering threads, and do you see what I did? I pulled it, and it made that lace lay down just as flat as you please. See, I just pulled one of those threads to make it lay down. Now, I have finished the quilt over here on this side. If you'll go back with me and let's look, the quilt has been stitched. The center part is French waterfall. It was stitched onto the white silk dupioni. Then the white piece was taken over and stitched onto the blue silk dupioni. Both sides are stitched, and then I will lift it up and let you see. When you cut it away, see, then you go back in and cut it away. Okay, that side is finished. The French waterfall on this side is not finished. That's the reason I left it, to show you once again how to curve lace and then make it lay down. All right, if I'm going to come on around here just a little bit more, I'm going to stick the pins in. Here we go. Stick the pins in around, and that's the way we curve laces. And then I will come in to make it lay down flat rather than be so have those little ruffles that stick up. Hang on, let me pull a thread. I come in here and I pull a thread, and I will pull it, and it will make it all lay down nice and pretty in a curve. All right, now you know how to make French waterfall. I'd like to invite you to come with me to my attic, where I have a beautiful, beautiful antique garment to share with you. As you know, we have a doll dress on every one of the shows on Martha's Sewing Room. Now let me show you the doll dress, antique doll dress, that we're basing this particular series doll dress pattern upon. This little dress I got as a gift a number of years ago. It features a little real blouson drop waist look with pin tucks down the front, laces. The sweet little sleeve has an insertion, a Swiss insertion right in the middle. And as you come down on the skirt, you can see this little blousey part, and then it's just a sweet little straight skirt. I think this little antique doll dress is very beautiful, and actually, you may know that antique doll dresses are very hard to find. So when you see the whole series, you'll see a little version of this antique doll dress with lots of different variations. For our Sewing from the Heart segment for this particular show, I have not only a sweet letter, but I have a beautiful little preemie baby day gown, hand smocked, tied at the bottom, absolutely beautiful little baby day gown. Dear Martha, I am a member of the Show Me Stitchers, the chapter in Central Missouri of the Smocking Arts Guild of America. Many members of the chapter volunteer their sewing and smocking skills for the We Care Project. This is a nationwide project in which many Saga chapter members volunteer their skills. The volunteers make smocked bishop gowns and donate them to local hospitals. The gowns are worn by infants who don't survive. The baby may be buried in this gown, or it may be saved by the parents. Hopefully, this in some way makes a very difficult time a little easier to endure for the parents of these babies. Volunteering our God-given skills is so important. We may never know in what way a single act of caring can touch another person's life. Sincerely, Mary Ellen Bennett. Thank you so much for joining us in my sewing room. We surely do hope to see you next time.